In the quiet pre-dawn hours of December 1, 1948, on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia, a man's body lay slumped against the seawall, legs outstretched toward the gentle waves, as if he had simply sat down to watch the sunrise and never stood up again. He was impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, polished shoes gleaming despite the sand, but there was no wallet, no identification, no labels on his clothes. Everything meticulously removed. In his pocket, a tiny scrap of paper torn from a book, bearing two cryptic words. Tamam Shud, Persian for ended, or finished. No obvious cause of death, no witnesses, no footprints leading away. Who was this stranger? Why did he die alone on a beach? And what secrets did he carry that still defy explanation over 75 years later? This is the Somerton Man mystery, a case that has puzzled detectives, cryptographers, and amateur sleuths alike, blending elements of espionage, forbidden love, and unsolved poisonings into one of Australia's greatest enigmas. As we unravel the clues, ask yourself, could this be the key to a Cold War spy thriller, or something even more personal and tragic? The scene unfolded on a typical summer morning in Adelaide, a coastal city known for its serene beaches and post-war calm. Two horseback riders first spotted the body around 6:30 a.m., assuming at first it was a drunk sleeping off the night. He was propped against the concrete seawall, head lolled back, a half-smoked cigarette dangling from his fingers, unlit as if he had forgotten to light it. The riders moved on, but later that day, joggers and beachgoers realized something was wrong. No movement, no breath. Police arrived quickly, cordoning off the area as curious onlookers gathered. The man appeared in his early 40s, athletic build, about 5 feet 11 inches tall, with graying hair, broad shoulders, and unusually well-developed calf muscles, suggesting perhaps a dancer or athlete. His skin was fair, eyes hazel, teeth natural but missing a few. He wore a smart brown suit, white shirt, red and blue striped tie, brown knitted pullover, and fashionable brown shoes, European style, not local. But every label had been cut out, every seam inspected showed no tailor marks. No hat, which was odd for the era when men rarely went without one in public. No watch, no jewelry, no personal effects except a few mundane items, unused train ticket to Henley Beach, bus ticket, chewing gum, and a comb. The bus ticket placed him in the area the previous evening, but why here, on this stretch of sand? Autopsy results deepened the puzzle. Conducted by Dr. John Burton Cleland, it revealed no visible trauma, no stab wounds, no gunshots. The man's stomach contained a pasty meal, perhaps a pasty pie eaten hours before death, but no vomit, no alcohol. His spleen was enlarged 3 times normal size, liver congested, suggesting acute poisoning, yet toxicology tests found nothing conclusive. Pathologists noted congestion in the brain and other organs consistent with a fast-acting toxin, possibly digitalis or albane, heart-stopping poisons hard to detect in 1948. His pupils were constricted, a sign of barbiturates or opiates, but again, no proof. Cleland concluded, death was not natural. I am quite convinced that the death could not have been due to natural causes. But how was the poison administered? Suicide? Murder? The body showed no injection marks, no pill residue. And why no struggle? He seemed peaceful, almost posed. Fingerprints were taken, circulated worldwide, no matches. Dental records checked against missing persons, nothing. The man became known simply as the Somerton Man, a placeholder name for an eternal unknown. As police pieced together his final hours, more questions arose. Witnesses recalled seeing a similar man the evening before, November 30th, lying in the same spot around 7 p.m., raising an arm weakly before slumping back. One couple thought he was drunk, another saw someone else nearby carrying him. But no one intervened, assuming harmlessness. The train ticket was unused, suggesting he never boarded. The bus ticket timed him arriving at the beach around 7 p.m. had he come to meet someone. To end it all, or was he lured there? The beach was popular for strolls, but isolated enough for secrecy. Adelaide in 1948 was a sleepy post-war city, far from global intrigue, or so it seemed. With the Cold War brewing, Australia hosted sensitive military sites like Woomera Rocket Range, fueling later spy theories. But for now, police focused on identification, placing a plaster cast of his face in newspapers, hoping for tips. The cast, with its calm expression and high cheekbones, stared out from headlines, but weeks passed with silence. Then, the breakthrough, or so it seemed. During a more thorough search of the body at the morgue, detectives found a tightly rolled scrap of paper sewn into a secret fob pocket in his trousers. Unrolled, it revealed printed words, Tamam Shud. Experts identified it as the final phrase from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a 12th century Persian poetry collection popular in English translations for its themes of life, death, and fate. The scrap was torn from page edges, not cut, suggesting deliberate removal. Police appealed to the public, who owned a Rubaiyat missing this page. Months later, in July 1949, a businessman came forward. He had found a copy of the book thrown into the back seat of his unlocked car parked near Somerton Beach around the time of the death. The last page was torn out, matching the scrap perfectly under microscope, same paper, same font from a rare 1941 Whitcomb and Toombs edition. But the book held more secrets. Feigned pencil indentations on the back cover, revealed under UV light as a series of letters, a code. The code read, WRGOABABD. MLIAOI. WTBIMPANETP. MLIABOAIAQC. ITTMTSAMSTGAB. 5 lines of seemingly random capitals, the second line crossed out as if a mistake. No punctuation, no numbers. Cryptographers from Australia's intelligence agencies pored over it, suspecting a cipher. Was it an acronym, book code, one-time pad? Patterns emerged, repeated letters like A, B, I, M. Some saw Virginia, structure, but no keyword fit. Others linked it to Rubaiyat verses, but nothing decoded. To this day, despite AI and supercomputers in recent years, it remains uncracked. One theory, it's a mnemonic for remembering something else, like initials of a poem or song. Another, shorthand for a message like, wrapped gift of a book at birthday, but that seems too mundane. The book's finder claimed no connection, passing a polygraph. Inside the book, a phone number penciled in, belonging to a local nurse named Jessica Thomson, living just 400 meters from the beach. Jessica Thomson became the case's most tantalizing lead. A 27-year-old single mother, She lived in Glenelg, near Somerton. When shown the plaster death mask, she nearly fainted, according to police, but denied knowing the man. "Is he still alive?" she asked, eyes wide. She admitted owning a rubaiyat, given to an army lieutenant named Alfred Boxall during the war, but Boxall was alive and well, his copy intact with Tamam Shud still there. Inscribed in her book, a verse signed, Justin. Thomson refused further details, saying it was too sensitive. Years later, her daughter revealed Thomson spoke Russian and had communist sympathies, fueling spy angles. Thomson died in 2007, taking secrets to her grave. Was the Somerton man a lover? A contact? Her evasiveness only deepened the intrigue. The suitcase provided more riddles. Found in Adelaide railway station's cloakroom, unclaimed since November 30th, the day before the body discovery. Ticket matched the timeline. Inside, pajamas, laundry bag, tie, underpants, slippers, all labels removed except one, King, on a tie. A stenciling brush, unusual for a traveler. Thread matching the pocket repair wear, Tamam Shud, hid, orange, rare. Clothes American sized, suggesting foreign origin. No socks, no hat, odd omissions. A coat with cold weather stitching, despite summer. The suitcase screamed deliberate anonymity. Police theorized he removed labels to hide identity, perhaps burning them on the beach. As months turned to years, theories proliferated, each more curious than the last. Suicide seemed plausible, the peaceful pose, possible poison. But why the code? Why the beach? No note, no ID, unusual for suicides wanting discovery. Murder gained traction, undetectable poison like aconite or tetrodotoxin, administered via food or cigarette. The enlarged spleen pointed to barbiturates or digitalis, but how? A poisoned pasty from a local shop. Or forced. Espionage electrified the case. 1948 was peak Cold War. Adelaide near Woomera, testing British atomic weapons. The man's calf muscles suggested ballet training, common for Soviet spies. Unlabeled clothes, tradecraft to avoid origin tracing. The rubaiyat linked to intelligence, used as codebooks in World War II. Tamam Shud, a signal. The code a one-time pad. Jessica Thomson's Russian ties and proximity screamed honey trap. Some claim he was a Soviet defector or American agent poisoned to silence. A 2022 DNA breakthrough by Professor Derek Abbott and genealogists tentatively identified him as Carl Charles Webb, a Melbourne electrical engineer born 1905, separated from his wife, with a history of mental health issues and poetry interest. No spy links, perhaps suicide over heartbreak. But the code, unexplained. Webb's family photo resembled the mask, DNA from hair-matched relatives. Yet doubts linger. Why Adelaide? Why the suitcase? Recent exhumation in 2021 allowed advanced forensics, but results inconclusive beyond the Webb ID. The code resists cracking, even with quantum computing trials. Is it gibberish, a love note, or a final message? The plaster mask, preserved in Adelaide's Police Museum, still draws visitors, its blank stare challenging solvers. Over 7 decades, the Somerton man has inspired books, documentaries, and endless speculation. From potential links to the Venona project decrypting Soviet codes, to theories of a jilted lover poisoning him after a rendezvous with Thomson, each angle pulls you deeper. The Rubaiyat's fatalistic poems echo, life ends mysteriously, truth's buried. What if the code was never meant to be solved, a red herring in a larger game? Or perhaps it's simpler, a man's private cipher for betting slips or poems. As we close this chapter, consider the enduring pull of the unknown. The Somerton man reminds us that some stories end without resolution, leaving us to ponder in the quiet. If this tale gripped you, leaving questions swirling like sand on that fateful beach, show your support, hit that like button to help spread the mystery. And if you're hooked on these deep dives into history's shadows, subscribe now, turn on notifications so you never miss the next enigma waiting to unfold. Stay tuned, more secrets await.